share my screen? Perfecto. All right. Let me put this thing to the side. You can see me right here. Is that full screen? All right, guys. Good morning. My name is Omi Jeanlouis, for those who do not know who I am. And today I'm going to be going over hidden opportunities winning with pre-foreclosures. Pre-foreclosures is something that I really enjoy working with. I don't know, I just feel like I'm really helping people out here. And it's also a good way to, get business for yourself. I got started in a niche through a friend of mine, Chris. You guys probably know Chris. Chris and I have the Foreclosure Fridays that every second Friday, we have a Zoom call where we talk about, distressed properties, what's happening in the foreclosure industry. Free group. You guys are welcome to join. I'll give you the details after this call. But yeah, it was just a good opportunity, good space, a good way to get business going. I thank God because we've been able to get some really good deals out of working with pre-foreclosures. Many of you probably, I've done a couple deals with you, or you yourself got your first deal through doing pre-foreclosures. So it's a good niche, and I'm gonna go over like the basics today with you guys. So what are we going to learn today? We're going to understand the process of pre-foreclosure. That's very important in Florida. And remember, guys, every state has a different foreclosure process. So because I'm in Florida, I'm going to be going over Florida. How to find pre-foreclosure leads, tools for door knocking and cold calling, websites for pre-foreclosure research, and how to get listings through pre-foreclosure. If you guys are, follow me on Foreclosure Fridays, some of you probably already seen some of the stuff that I go over. And again, guys, it's nothing new. It's the same stuff, but just making it, more neat. So it's very important for you to understand the process of pre-foreclosure. One thing I can tell you that was game changing for me was when I understood the process and understood how it worked in Florida. That's why I'm saying I'm going over the foreclosure process in Florida, because every state is different. So if you're not in Florida, you want to understand how pre-foreclosures work in your state, because once you understand how they work, now you can better help the client. You know where they're at. So I kind of took the process. It's a very confusing process. It can be very complex sometimes, but I just took the process and put it in very simple little steps that I'm going to go over with you. Number one, it always starts with missed payments. The person stopped paying. When you get a mortgage, you promise that you're gonna pay the bank back for the mortgage that you got on the property, and the moment you miss down here 3 to 4 payments, that's pretty much when the foreclosure process is gonna start. They're gonna issue you, in Florida it's 120 days. They're gonna issue you what's called a notice of default, letting you know that you're in default. And then from there, they file what's called a lis pendens, meaning pending litigation. That's public notice that they send out that they're starting the foreclosure process on you. And then from there, we go to 4, summon and complaints. You pretty much, you're served. Somebody's gonna come out to your house. They're gonna look for you. They're gonna find you. And if you think you're slick, you're gonna be able to hide. That's not gonna work, because at some point they can just publish it in the papers, and that counts as well too, if they can't find you. But they're gonna continue coming out to your house, knocking, looking for you. And if there's somebody at your house that's not you, they can serve that individual as well too. But they're going the goal is to find you. They're good guys. You can't run from these mortgage people. Number 5 is answer period. So once you get served, you have what's called 20 days to respond. And to respond is not, your response have to be good. This is the point where a lot of people hire an attorney to respond for them. But if you know what you're doing, you can respond for yourself. I'm not giving you legal advice, I'm just saying. But you want to kind of like respond something, not just say, hey, I lost my job. That's not a strong, argument. More so, this is not me. That's what I'm seeing on a lot of the attorney's response. This is invalid. This is not correct. We've been paying. You have to make a case, because you're going to court. They're suing you. Number 6, then you start the preliminary hearing. It's pretty much where the judge hear you out and try to find a possible solution, so that we won't have to go further in the foreclosure process. Remember, the foreclosure process costs money. It costs your lender money. It costs the bank time. So if they can try to find out a solution, if you have a strong case up front, then they'll hear you out. But if you don't really have a strong case, you will continue moving further down the road, and then you'll go through what's called the summary judgment. Now, the summary judgment, you didn't make a strong case on number 6, so summary judgment time. Now, the lender's attorney is making a case against you, and if they find you guilty of defaulting, which they bring up the evidence, they bring up your mortgage note, they bring up everything against you, because those documents when you go to closing, you sign those big packages, they're scanned now, and they're gonna bring up against you. Number 8, that's when you get your auction date. Once you get your auction date, pretty much is set up on the county auction site, which I'm gonna be reviewing as well too today. And you have a date. Usually the auction date, it's after 3 to 4 months. So that gives you enough time to prepare yourself to either come up with the money or get ready to be kicked out. Number 9, what happens is your property got sold on the auction, and then now the property title is transferred to the new owner. And number 10, what a lot of people don't know, if the lender didn't get their money back fully from selling your house, if you still owe, then they can file what's called a deficiency judgment against you, and they can come after you for the amount that you owe them. So yeah. So that's kind of just like wrapping up and summing up the foreclosure process in quick, easy 10 steps so you guys can get an understanding. And the reason why I like going over the foreclosure process, because once you understand the foreclosure process, it's a lot easier to help people, and it's a lot easier to understand when you're having conversations with these people. So when you better understand it, you know where they're at, and you kind of know like how to better guide them. And when people when they're going through the case, and they know that you understand this verbiage, this language, it's like us, like realtors, when we talk to somebody and we're using comps, CMA, ARV, that type of languages. Now they're like, oh shoot, this person know what they're talking about. All right, so door knocking and cold calling. I wanted to take some time and talk about door knocking and cold calling in front. This is your bread and butter when you're working with the pre-foreclosure leads. You can send out flyers and do all that stuff, but that stuff costs money, guys. So door knocking and cold calling it's free. You just got to get the numbers, get the contact information, and getting numbers as simply as using true people search or fast people search. But the key things that I wanted to talk about when it comes down to door knocking and cold calling, farm your area. One of the things that I got really good at and what saved me a lot of time was whatever area that I'm in. When I used to farm. I started off farming Broward first for foreclosures, and I started where I live because I live in Broward, and I just stayed in my little neighborhood or a particular area in Broward that I liked, where the property values were, decent, sales were happening. So I picked an area, and then I would look for foreclosures just in that area. There's foreclosures everywhere because remember, at the end of the day, anybody can have a hardship. It's just a situation in life changes and life happens. So I got really good at just farming. Now I switched my farming area to Miami because I'm down in North Miami now. So I'm farming 33161. So whenever a new foreclosure comes up or any foreclosure activities happening there, I'm there. And then another reason why I do that as well too, guys, working with pre-foreclosures can be very discouraging because it takes a long time, especially if you're not patient, if you're not good with follow-up, you're going to give up. And I can tell you a lot of my leads, quick story, there was this lead that I got. I was going after her for probably a year. And this lady owned 5 homes. All 5 was going through foreclosure. And finally, I just, kept on following up. And I went back to the house multiple times, and I was able to, able to get a listing from one of her properties, and we listed our property and sold the property. So a lot of follow-up, but follow-up is key because what happens in the foreclosure process, some people initially in the beginning, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to deal with you, and they want to see what happens throughout the case. And going through the case is discouraging. They lose hope, and boom, if you were there, you get an opportunity to get that listing. Track. I'll show you my tracking system that I have as well too to track and follow up with these people. Marketing. I simply sometimes just go out there with one page of flyer that I use from RPR, and a lot of you guys, again, if you follow me, what I'm talking about. But and also I have some custom stuff sometime if I'm on the road that I just leave in my car, because sometimes I just drop by different areas and looking on my phone when I find a foreclosure, and I leave that piece of marketing. We have people as well too that just by leaving a flyer at the door, the homeowner were able to contact them back and they were able to get a listing. So that's on the door knocking and cold calling part. At the end, I'll try to go through. This is just the presentation style. I try to go through really quickly, so when we get to the actual searching and everything, you guys can ask questions in the middle of everything. So how to find pre-foreclosure leads, tools and tips and tools. County records is your best bet because the information there is just accurate. And one of the biggest things that I was shocked when I got into working with pre-foreclosures, all of this stuff, guys, is public records. It's just you just don't know how to find it. Once you know how to find it, it's like you open up like a can of worms. It's like, oh wow, it's a whole different world. So now I'm looking at records, I'm looking at the court docs every single day. I feel like I work at a law office. But IMAP is very easy because IMAP sources all the data as well from the county records. So I always recommend IMAP for realtors because you don't have to do the hard stuff. I already did the hard stuff. I went through the county records. It's very time consuming. You don't want to spend all day doing that. IMAP has the data, and also RPR has the data as well too. I'm letting you know the sites, but I'm gonna actually go through everything with you so that way you can see. Um, let's get into the good stuff. Oh, okay. So that was the presentation part so far. If do you guys have any questions based off what I discussed with the foreclosure process? I can't see, so
Hey, Omi, quick question.
yeah.
After how many days somebody not paying their house would this pre-foreclosure process start?
In Florida is 120 days. So it's like 4 payments. In most other places, like after you miss 3, but Florida they can't start on you until you miss 120 days. All right. So if no other questions, I'll go ahead and get into the other stuff. You guys still can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Process. So I'm jumping into IMAP first because IMAP is very easy to navigate, and also IMAP has a new update, guys, which is
Real
very
quick,
clutch.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. But before you got started, will this information apply to New Jersey too?
Yeah, Jersey. If do you have IMAP in Jersey?
I have to check.
I think I have. We had 2 agents that did some stuff. I believe you guys do actually. We have. I know they closed a couple of deals doing pre-foreclosure. I'll find out. I forgot
Okay,
exactly what we showed them, but I found out. But yeah, so if you have IMAP, if you don't have IMAP, I'm gonna go to RPR as well too, because most people, if they don't have IMAP, they have RPR. But IMAP has a new update. It's very easy to use, and if yours don't look like this, there's gonna be a button on top that says switch to beta mode, and you click that button, and then you're gonna get this screen right here. And if you come down, you see already they already done the hard work for you. Suggested searches, rental properties, 1031, foreclosure auctions, all of that stuff. Boom. But I like to create my own list. And when you come up here, the biggest thing most people don't realize, there's 3 tabs: tax search, MLS search, foreclosure search. So we're going to foreclosure search. When we go to foreclosure search, what we're looking for, me, like I tell people all the time, property usage. I only like dealing with single family. Because condos and foreclosures, there's too many things to deal with. You have associations, and the association could foreclose on you, but your mortgage is current, all type of stuff. I don't like dealing with that headache, so I avoid that. Once I come here, list pins, meaning pending litigation, yes. And then another most important thing is what to filing date. So okay, just like how I went over the foreclosure process in the beginning, the foreclosure process is very long. And you have to identify where in the foreclosure process do you want to go ahead and target these people. So for me, I like targeting them once they just got the foreclosure, in the middle of the foreclosure, and also towards the end when they have an auction date. So to me, it doesn't really matter. So just for this training, let's go back. Okay, let's go back 3 months. Greater or equal to, we start in May. Another thing that I like doing as well too, what is sales date? Less than or equal to, I want to go back because I want properties that have, so 2018. I put some years back of owning the property because I want properties that have equity, because what I don't want is somebody that just bought their house last year that, somehow fell into foreclosure and they have no equity. I'm not looking for short sales right now. I'm just looking for foreclosures. I want people that have equity. It's a lot sweeter when you can help somebody that already has equity, because it becomes just a regular sale. It's nothing complicated. It becomes just a regular sale. So once I have my criteria, and there's so many different ways you can fill owner name. Sometimes I don't like dealing with does not contain LLCs, because these investors, you know how it is. If you're an investor, you think you're smarter than everybody. So I try to avoid those conversations at times. So, I'm in Miami-Dade right now. Let me go to an area I usually don't work. Kendall, I don't go down here, especially Homestead. Homestead is like going to a different country, like going to Haiti. So you can see this one's already listed. So when you're on your IMAP, the little icons will let you know the property status. If you see this right here, that it's already active. So I have a strategy for properties that are active as well too. If I have a buyer that can't find anything, I would just go through here and find all the ones that are active, and I would look at their foreclosure case, see how much they owe, if they have an auction date, so that I can lowball them. But that's just a little insight, right? But let me pick another one. Somewhere right here, 47. Oh, that one's active too. Dang. I tell you, man, these people, they're listing their houses. Okay, this one right here. Real time. No, let me click this one. Okay. And once we come in here, person's name, address, yada, yada, yada. So this link right here directs you directly to RPR, and you're able to see the property, the type of property. So look, they own the property since 2006. They haven't sold. They've sold the price that they closed on it. This is the value now. So there's equity. Okay. Seems like it says multi-family duplex. All right. One owner. That's what I like. I don't like dealing with sometimes when there's like 13 owners, it gets very complicated. So now when I come down here, this foreclosure was filed in May 2024. This is what you call the case number. So today I'm going a little in depth so that way you guys can see. Once I take the case number, now I'm going to my county site. I'm in Miami now. So this is the website for Miami. You guys can look at it. Miami-Dade.gov, local case number, the year, case number, CA, it's civil, and 01. Boom. So when you're here now, the case is still open, it's still active. Just want to come in here and see what's going on. Oh, look, see. Just, you see how I went through the steps with you guys? The claim, the complaint, the list pins, the summons. So we're going after. Make sure you mute yourself as well. I can hear somebody in the background. Mute yourself. Can you mute it for me? Thank you. Summons right here. So once we come in here, look, the person answered. I like coming in here. I don't know. It's all public records, so I'm a little nosy, seeing what's happening. I like to read the complaints sometimes. I'm writing this letter explaining unfortunate circumstance that have caused me to become delinquent on my mortgage. I have done everything possible for me, but fallen short. Sometimes they're really sad as well too. My number one goal is to keep my home and hope that SPN Service Company consider me for a loan modification. I used to pay my mortgage on time. I lost my rental income, my income being sufficient. Yeah, well, I read it just so I can know where the person's at, especially if the person filed it themselves. Now I know when I call that individual, hey, sorry, you lost your job, and I understand where you're at. You're trying to find loan modification. How's the loan modification going? So majority of the time, it's not the individual that files. It's usually they hire an attorney and I'll try to find one. So he's still going through the process right now. That's a good lead to go ahead and reach out to. He doesn't know. We don't know if he got the loan modification or whatnot. So once you going back, now what I would do with this one, if I live near him, see his number, is that him? Number's right here. You can either call him or also as well too, if these numbers are wrong, I use True People Search, Fast People Search, and there's another thing that I use as well. I can't talk about it on here because it's being recorded, but it's just I'll let you know after for those who reach out to me. It's super accurate. If you know, you know. Don't say anything because it's not supposed to be used for that purpose. But yeah, look him up, reach out to him. Hey, my name is Omi. I'm a local realtor in the area. I was actually calling because I see you have your properties listed under foreclosure. Just wanted to find out what's your plan for the property. And talking to them, hey, yeah, I'm not interested in selling it. Okay, whatever, such and such. Okay, if you can't resolve the situation with the bank, what is your plan? You're planning on losing your property. Hey, I can let you know how much your property is worth. And also I can get you a cash offer or sell at the highest price to help you move on forward and help you find another property or whatnot. And just kind of like get together. Sometimes they want to figure out, most people want to figure out a way to save their property. So I let them know, okay, yeah, we can get together to figure out how we can go ahead and save your properties or give you better explanation um, on your options. So that's Miami, right? So let me go back to new search. On the tab right here, I'm gonna do Broward. So that way you guys can see how the Broward County thing look like as well too. So same thing. We'll find list prints pending litigation. Yep. I like the pre-foreclosures because the people are still going through it. I don't like REOs. REOs are when the bank owns the property because now you have to just go to the auction site, bid, or fight against a bunch of people. I like when the homeowner still owns the house and still can sell that property. So filing date. Let me do something that's not too far away. Probably something new on it before. Search. Oops. Messed up the map. Where should we go? Oh, I'm picking all the ones that like have some type of. All right, let's click this guy. RPR. What's going on? I come in here first just to make sure it's a single family home, not a townhouse, not nothing else. I don't like dealing with those. This person haven't sold since 1994. My year I was born. Okay. So like again, you see IMAP has the numbers. Sometimes the numbers are accurate, sometimes they're not accurate. But then we're gonna take this thing right here. Broward and Miami-Dade is different. We come in here. Oh, what year was that? The 2024. Even the way you input stuff is different. Here in Broward, it's case, type of case, same thing, civil court case, year 2024, case number. Here we going. This is the guy. Or got it. They're letting us know about them. Sometimes I look to see if they have a attorney or not as well too on the case. And that makes a big difference. If you don't have an attorney, if you're not responding in time as well too, they speed up the case. So this person is new, as you can see. It's like a month, that's or something. So complaint. Let's see what happened. Why did they file foreclosure? I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast because I look at these all the time. a borrower, somebody passed away. Oh, oh, pages. Deceased. Yeah, I know where to look. Mm, plaintiff owed both possession and legal benefit interest in. I'm telling you, I doing this for a while, it might make you want to go get a law degree or something. See, plaintiff default on the covenant in terms of the mortgage agreement and the payment due. They haven't paid, plaintiff, and look at this. This is the only thing that they owe. $68,000. Crazy, right? So this person has a lot of equity. A lot. This is somebody that we can help. So going back, where am I now? Same thing. And this is why I stress working in your area or working in some place that's not too far from you, because if you have to go door knock, you're not driving 2-3 hours out of your way and feel discouraged if nobody's home or you didn't reach the person. You want to kind of like do it in an area where it's close, where you can go back if the person's not home. You can come by another time, morning, night, whatever it is, just to see what's going on, because sometimes these properties are vacant, and the way you get a hold of the owner, if you can't find them through doing your research, you ask a neighbor. That's what I do. I go to the neighbor and ask the neighbor, hey, look, hey, your neighbor is, going through foreclosure, whatever. Put them out there. They won't be mad. Sometimes you got to get people upset so in order for them to reach back out to you. But yeah, I just wanted to know what's going on with them. I help people that's going through such and such. And sometimes the neighbor's like, hey, I want to buy it. I want, and they help you out. They're the detectives, nosy neighbors. They're bad at open house, but they're good when it comes down to looking for foreclosures. So that's the IMAP portion of it. Orlando as well too. You guys have IMAP. New Jersey, I'm sure you probably do. But now let's go to RPR itself, and I'm gonna show you what I do with RPR. RPR is another way to find foreclosures. It's pretty sweet. I like RPR. I use RPR a lot on my phone, kind of like how Sherry said. So when I come into RPR, what I do is on the phone is different, but same thing. You go through the filter button. This it probably would have said for sale or lease, but I switch it to public records. Again, single family, no townhouse for me, no condos. I don't want to deal with associations. I want quick stuff. And I just come down here. I select out of the three. I don't want none of this auction or REOs. I don't like the new REOs. I click this. We can go back last 6 months, 12 months, don't matter to me, apply. And there's even more options. You can want absentee owners, such and such. But the biggest thing for me, I want to make sure that the property has equity. And as we know, anybody that owned property before COVID most likely has a lot of equity. So in my zip code, 33161, and then I'm going to search. All right. So in my area, I always know what's going on in my area, what's popping, what's the latest foreclosures, what's the new ones, because I'm on top of it. IMAP data is a lot more accurate because IMAP pulls the data directly from the county sites, and still sometimes it misses some information. The county is the most accurate, and there's another way of going directly to the county as well too. But like I said, keep things simple. The last thing you don't want to do is discourage yourself from going out and doing this. So this one I already been here. I've been to that house. I'm in communication with them as we speak. I think they just hired an attorney, but they're running out of time. They did it too late. This one I haven't been there yet, so I need to go there. I think I went to this one already. I don't know. Oh, this guy, man.
Hey,
This guy's on the market now after a year. And I stopped going after him, but that was a good one. See, and this one ended up on the market. So I had beat myself up. I was like, dang, I wish I would have continued staying on top of that guy. But that house is not currently on the market. But and like how I talked about as well too, now knowing he's in foreclosure, because a lot of time deals are being done and people don't realize that the property's in foreclosure. And if you know how much they owe, the situation that they're in, you can make a better and more aggressive offer as well too.
Hey,
Uh,
Omi.
yeah,
Hey, Omi, real quick question. I mean, most of the time these guys are going through foreclosure because they don't have the funds to pay for the mortgage, right?
yeah.
So, do you know how these guys are getting attorneys? Are the attorneys taking the funds after they sell the house or something?
No, usually up front. That's the thing as well too. So that's another line rebuttal that people bring up. Hey, I have an attorney. And most people and the guys that I work with, some of your agents here that done deals with or been after some homeowners that are going through foreclosure that has an attorney. Max just called me the other day. This person had an attorney for over a year, and the guy's like, "Oh, my attorney has it. My attorney has it." He had a sales date, and come to find out, if Max didn't convert him to a new attorney, that guy would have lost his home because his attorney wasn't doing anything. So the attorneys usually take the money up front, and they're paying them on a monthly basis. So it's like I tell them, bro, you're just wasting time. The only thing the attorney could do for you is buy you time. Once they can't buy you any more time, you're out. You're out of luck. Because remember, this is all just templates that the attorney is sending to the courts or just showing up in person for you, and they're just responding, buying you time. So that and nobody's gonna the attorneys, attorneys not gonna work for free. They want that money up front. And what I've seen other people do sometimes if they don't have the money, not all attorneys, but they'll put a lien on your house for payment at the end of the day because they know a lot of them know you're gonna lose the house. And most attorneys don't even tell you that, hey, look, the only thing I can do is buy you time. If you don't have the money, I'm sorry, but I use this analogy all the time. It's not analogy, but this statement. I say the attorneys treat some of these people that are going through foreclosures like rental properties, but better than rental properties because they're getting consistent cash flow from you without having to take care of any, rules, any, maintenance on a property, and you're paying them. You're paying them. And the foreclosure process can take sometimes years, bro. Especially if the person know what they're doing, they can extend that process over and over and over and over. And it's crazy too. So one of the biggest things to know right now, I'm happy you brought up the question too, Sergio, in Florida, not in Florida, but all over the United States, the government's doing a really good job of providing assistance for people to not go into foreclosure. So you're not seeing a lot of foreclosures because the government are offering programs that help people that are behind on payments to be able to have loan modification, refinance options, or just deferment programs to where they're not going through the foreclosure process. But even with those programs in place, some people still they can't afford their house and they still go through foreclosure. So I wouldn't say there's a crazy amount, but I do see a lot of a bunch of people that are not making the same amount of money, lost their jobs, and just can't afford their house. So there's always leads in this foreclosure niche. I didn't realize the
Omi,
time. We're
Omi,
we're
I
yeah.
have a question. There were a law supposedly this year or last year, I don't know, that for the foreclosure that is faster, that is going to take, because I hear like they have 1 year for the house and another case that has this long, but supposedly the law is because they're going to have it between 3 to 5 months before they get the REO.
You
That is
said
true
three
or
to
that is
five
not
months
true?
before they get REO.
Yeah, before the bank execute the
Oh yeah, yeah.
person.
Once so the REO happens when once they sell them on the auction and nobody buys it or it doesn't go through, then the bank takes the property back. So those REOs sometimes they can sit a while, but usually the bank gets the person out right
Yeah,
away.
no, I know, but I mean, like, supposedly the process for foreclosure, it will take more than 3 to 5 months, and you're
Oh, the,
talking
the
about a
foreclosure
year.
process takes a long time. Yeah, I know. It takes a long time. Especially if you have like I said, if you have a good attorney or you just
Mhm.
know what you're doing and you continue getting extensions because all you have to do is say it's not me. I paid my mortgage or whatnot. The cases are false. Uh, then you have to go to court. They have to assign you a hearing and look at the amount of foreclosure hearings that are out there. It's a lot. So the judge doesn't have time to set all these dates, and then when holidays and falls into place, those are longer extensions. So sometimes it can take 120 plus or days or 3 to 6 months just to get a hearing. And by the time you get the hearing, if you make a good enough case, you buy yourself more time. If you have a good attorney, you buy yourself more time. So this entire game is just about buying yourself time. So when somebody initially goes into foreclosure, they don't just lose their house in like 2-3 months. In Florida, at least not in Florida, because we're a judicial state, they have to make a case, and that can take a while. One more thing before I let you guys go. I know we're over. I wanted to show you because I know some people usually ask me about auction dates. I'm happy you brought that up too. So this is where you go to find auction property. This is where I go. I separate it. I don't just go on IMAP for those. It's a free account you can create. And when you come in here, it lets you know all the properties that are going to be auctioned off. I do foreclosures. It also has tax deeds as well too. I don't want anything that's sold. You can put a zip code if you want to as well too. And then you come in here, it lets you know, okay, they added, because I didn't put a filter for the date, but see sales date right here, the 16th. Today's what, 16th? This one's happening today. All these happen today. Go back. So I usually try to catch them. If you have a good attorney that could stop the sales date, you can catch them, 2-3 days, but buy yourself some time, a week or whatnot. That's for Miami. If you're in a different region, just go back here, click this on the bottom. You can jump into whatever state. I know New Jersey is in here as well. So see right here, some places. Not everybody's on there, but Florida, usually we have all the counties or whatnot. You can hop in there. That's the last thing I wanted to show you. But again, guys, there's so many different areas, so many different parts of this. I just stay in the pre-foreclosure part because I understand it and it's very easy. Don't make it complicated. You don't have to go in there to figure out all the details about the case, if it's open, how much they owe. When I was doing that, I wasted so much time. So I just look if it's in foreclosure, if it's active, and do they have equity? That's why I go back. I don't want anything. I want somebody that owned the property between 5-10 years because I know they have equity, and I go after those. But let's open up for questions real quick. We'll take probably a few, and then I'll let you guys go because we're way over. Yes, Angela.
Hi, Omi, how are you? I love this so much. I just want to add to it for the people in Jersey, so similar in that sense. So for RPR, especially if you guys have the app, it is phenomenal because
Yes.
just like you can search, so just like you can search nearby sold properties around you, you can do the exact same thing for list pending or anything. So it's phenomenal, especially on the go. So like if your client stands you up, pull up RPR, open it, and then just knock on a few doors. I've knocked on the wrong door and got the right person. So it's definitely an awesome way to do it. And for Jersey, we also have other resources, not necessarily those, but it's like HUD Homes Gov store. So those are the ones that have already been foreclosed, but they're at a cheaper price. So you guys can look for that for your clients. And they're a little bit better when it comes to like first-time home buyers, but some investors can still get them. So that's another way too. And similar to what you just said for the looking up the auctions, those are very easy to find. So Union County has them, Essex County. You just do the exact same thing he said for us, and it's the same way. But I loved it. I was just a little bit more just on the Jersey side.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And IMAP, if
Julia.
you could figure out that thing for us, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Jersey is different. There's a way I haven't gone back to Jersey, but we do have 2 agents that closed a couple of the deals and foreclosures because what we taught them over there.